That's just sports, baby.
Crowd goes wild. Strawberry ice, bringing fire and style. Reds, Bengals, Bearcats, all in my zone. This is my stage, my mic, my throne. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy fine is kicking down the door. Step into the ring where the passion ignites. Talking sports all day and all night. From the field to the court to the roaring stands. Strawberry ice with the world in my hands. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's fine is kicking down the door.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Iceman, Jeff Trenopole. And as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio. And as always, I'm coming to you live from that ice cave.
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Party Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paper patio, you need anything. I mean anything. Landscaping required. Think Party Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window, Door, and more. I got them in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window, Door, and more. Their website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also, shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. And tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House.
That's right. We'll be back down there this Sunday at the Moorline Lager House. We're either going to be in the beer garden or out in the tent. I'm hoping the tent because they got a big-ass TV screen out there watching the Bengals whoop up on the Bills. So come on down. It's going to be a great time. We got $5 drafts, $5 will drinks, $5 house wines, and $5 shots of the day. The Bengals are not dead yet. Speaking of not being dead, it is Crosstown Shootout Day. Bearcats always by 100. That's what I think is going to happen. What is up to everybody in the chat? We've got Brandon there. Crypt Creepers in there. Online's on there. Bengals Bridge Crew. What's going on? Transformer Freak Out. Now he's a Bearcat fan. Before this is my son. Before this, he's telling me the Bearcats are going to stink. Now he's okay. Whatever. He needs to make his mind up. Anyway, with that being said, it's a fun Who Day Football Friday show. I don't know if AC is going to be able to join us today. He's running around with the kids. He's on dad duty. His wife is out of town. But the man who is always here each and every Friday, he is a Cincy Raider. He is a draft guru. He also hosts one of the best Bengals podcasts around. I'm hoping he turns his camera on when I actually introduce him, but we'll see. He is one of my best friends. He is Dale Altman.
I'm here.
And of course, you don't turn the camera on. That's like, just
God, you're so needy. You're so needy.
Well, you do an intro. At least people should freaking see your face, even see how cold you are down there in your garage.
This rum isn't even keeping me warm.
Oh boy, we are having rum, Dale. I like it. So, what is going on, Dale? Are you excited? Do you believe? Tell me you believe the Bengals can pull this off. Can they pull this off?
I mean, they gave me hope. Like that win against the Ravens gave me hope. The sons of bitches messed around and gave me hope. Like, you know, I'm a draft guy. I love the draft. I do the Project Game Day draft guide. And I'm like, okay, it's just a little earlier draft season. Maybe, maybe do mock draft Friday on the show or mock draft Monday.
Or mock draft Wednesday.
And then they go, they beat the Ravens. Not only do they beat the Ravens, Joe Burrow's back. The defense looks a lot better these last really 2 or 3 weeks, honestly. Like it's been building, but now it's another major test against the Bills. So, like, I got 1 foot in, 1 foot out because you're still 4-8. But if you can beat the Bills and go back home and face the Ravens, I mean, we'll be talking next week. You know, if we beat the Bills, I'm going to have 1.5 foot in at that point.
You know me, my whole body's back in. It don't take much for me. I'm totally back in. But that's the thing. It's like, dude, like we were at this point last year, and they ripped off 5 in a row. Now we didn't make the playoffs, but what gives you even more hope this year is the Bengals. They have their fate in their own hands. I mean, they literally got to win every game. They maybe can lose one depending on how things go with Ravens, but they got to win these. They got to win these next 2 for sure. These next 2 for sure are going to be huge. And I'm not overconfident because it's Buffalo. They can run the ball really well. Our run defense is getting better, but it still isn't great. So I'm pleasantly optimistic about it, but like I said, it's just like the Red season. Every time I was out, they pull me back in, and I'm back in. But what the keys for me in this game is stopping Buffalo's run because they really don't have anybody to throw the ball to be honest, and it's gonna be snowing.
Well, I mean, Josh Allen's still completing almost 70% of his passes. He does have 10 interceptions against 19 passing touchdowns, but we know it's a guy who can run the ball too. He has 11 rushing touchdowns. He broke Cam Newton's record last week for rushing touchdowns all time for a quarterback.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a crazy stat. But yeah, it's James Cook over 1,200 yards already, with 5 games left in the season. I mean, he's their vocal point. He's their guy. You've got to be able to slow that down. And Josh Allen in the run game and force them to throw the ball, because then I feel good about DJ Turner and Jalen Davis and Dax Hill having a chance against those guys. There's so many key matchups. Obviously, stopping the run's a big part of it, but I do think specifically for us, players like Miles Murphy and Joseph Osai, which is part of stopping the run, but also when they are passing the ball, getting some pressure from those 2 guys. Those 2 guys have played better lately. Miles Murphy looks like a dude the last few weeks. Joseph Osai's leading the team in pressures, top 25 in the NFL. I think if those guys continue to play well, this defense can continue to play well, and we can keep stacking some wins. Obviously, if you're like the Bill side of it, they're going to be looking to get their not just run the ball, but looking to get their tight ends involved, whether Kincaid plays or not. They still have Dawson.
We can't cover the tight end anyway.
And they're going to look to get Barrett Carter, matched up against some of those tight ends. Barrett Carter maybe matched up against James Cook as a receiver. So I think there's so many crucial matchups. Also, I guess Ed Oliver's on IR, so I mean that's helpful. Joey Bosa's probably not playing, but they still have Deion Walker. They invested a lot in defensive line. Epinesa, they've got a bunch of guys. I don't know how many of them are playing. I know some are hurt. Larry Ogunjobi is still on that roster. So they definitely invested in the D-line, but they're not playing their best ball. They're ranked first against the pass, so for yards per game, but they're ranked 30th against the run. So can we get Chase Brown over 100 yards for the 7th straight week? All-purpose yards, but I think he could rush alone for over 100 in a game like this based on how they've played. And they have somehow missed more tackles, have a higher missed tackle rate than the Bengals, which is insane to me.
That's crazy. And it's crazy to think, just kind of going off what you said, a couple of things here is make Josh Allen beat us. Make the MVP beat us. It's scary.
With his arm. With his arm.
Yes. Clarify, with his arm. And one thing, I'm surprised, and I think we talked last time we did a Friday show. I was talking about how the Bengals defense maybe should blitz a little bit more, and we were kind of like, from who, from where, yada yada. I kind of just throwing it out there. And I don't know if Al Golden, I think he watches the show.
That would have been a couple weeks ago because we played on Thursday Night Football. We didn't have a Friday show last week.
We have a Friday show,
So 2 weeks ago, and that's something.
The last one we did. Yeah,
I think we all thought, like, you got to dial stuff up.
Yeah, and it's working. I mean, it's and Davis, the 35 that they brought up, he reminds me of Mike Hilton. I mean, he is shorter guy, but he will go in there and lay the wood to some guys. And he's taking Fig's spot. Fig's barely even playing now.
Yeah, and Davis has been around forever. You know, he's a
Yes.
guy who's been up and down between the practice squad, the active roster, the last 3 or 4 years. And but yeah, I mean, there's shades of the way he played against the Ravens. Looked like Mike Hilton coming off the edge as a blitzer, you know, being tough, trying to knock the ball out, tough against the run, physical. Like, yeah, and you needed a guy, and he was just signed fully to the active roster, well deserved.
Officially, yep.
Yeah, this week. So well deserved because he's a dude, man. And it allows Dax to slide back out a little more to the outside corner spot. I still think he's a better slot corner, but for this season, especially with Cam Taylor-Britt out, we need you on the outside, brother. And that's where you're going to have to play and hold things down. And obviously, DJ Turner, I mean, shouldn't just be a Pro Bowler. That's an all-pro.
He's all pro, dude.
Season.
He's
been
literally
fantastic.
He's literally following their best receivers now. I mean, they're putting him on that island, and he is by far exceeding expectations. He's having he's the best defensive player on our team right now. He is exceeding expectations by far. Anything that I thought he'd be good, but he is, in my opinion, an all-pro, Pro Bowl player for sure. McKinley Jackson. He was incognito for half the season. I think
inactive.
Yeah. Last 2 or 3 weeks, he's starting to get some more playing time. Do you think? And I've been bagging the drum for him to play all year because I was pretty impressed with him last year and the way our run defense was non-existent. I'm like, that's a guy you might want to put out there. It seems like whatever Al Golden wanted him to improve on, he must be doing it because he's starting to play, and he wasn't. They're just not throwing him out there and just go and, have 40, 50 snaps. They're doing it in small increments, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Do you think his addition is how put it this way? How big of an addition has he been to this run game? But I mean, I know it's been short run defense. I know it's been short snippets, but how big of an impact has he made since he started to play?
I mean, I think he's had a big impact. I think it could be even bigger because as he earns more snaps, that's going to mean less snaps for a guy like TJ Slayton. And when you're these big nose tackle types, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Keep them all fresh,
right.
Have a good rotation there.
BJ Hill too. Yeah.
BJ Hill, Chris Jenkins, rotate all those guys in there at the defensive tackle spot, keep them all fresh. Now, they're not going to rotate too many guys at edge. I do like what Cedric Johnson brings, but we saw 75+% of the snaps for Murphy and Osai, and I expect that to continue. They expect them to be 3-down players. They're built to be 3-down players physically. So I think we're going to continue to see that. Love what we're seeing from Ced, but definitely on the inside, you're going to continue to see a big rotation. There is no way in hell I want to see McKinley Jackson get less snaps than what he had against Baltimore.
Right.
You're facing James Cook. I want to keep him and Slayton fresh, Jenkins, Hill, all those guys fresh on the interior. I think that's how you're going to. And then God, you've got me talking crazy now. Then if you do make the playoffs somehow, eventually, son of a bitch.
I got him.
But that's how the playoffs are. Defense and run games are huge in the playoffs. So if you keep stacking that and having your team start to develop an identity like that, where you run the ball more on offense and play more defense, as great as Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are, and we know they are, you're going to need that when you make the playoffs.
I just fell in love with you even more. That's my boy. When speak into existence, there. That's what I'm talking about. When you make the playoffs. Now let's talk about Miles Murphy and Joseph Osai. We have talked about them ad nauseum, especially Miles Murphy because he was a number 1 pick, first round pick, and when he was drafted, I expected him to be the guy to replace Trey. I thought that's why they drafted him, and it's taken forever, way too long for him to finally start making an impact. But it's finally happening, and I was critical of Al Golden a lot this year. I'm going to give Al Golden credit. What he's done, and Zach said this, the youth movement is going to be hard, and it sucked. I'm not saying we are done. It's fixed.
We're not through it.
We're not through it yet, but they're making incremental improvements. And those two, along with Cedric Johnson, and DJ Turner, are big reasons why. And I got to give credit to Al for sticking with it, because most guys would, which I mean, he really didn't have a choice.
Didn't have a choice with Trey out.
Yeah, I don't know who else he would have played, but they stuck with it. And Joseph Osai, He's looking like that guy. I keep going back to the last AFC Championship game we're in. I know everyone remembers the hit, but go back and watch that game. He was a dog in that game. That was one of his best games he had as a pro, and he's getting back to that. And knock on wood, he's healthy. This is one of the first seasons I think he's truly been healthy. He doesn't have any nagging injuries or anything too, which I think that has a lot to do with it. Just try to stay away from trying to eat turkey when you're going to do an interview.
Yeah, that was not good.
No, good.
Yeah, with Osai, he came on strong at the end of last year. I think he finished like the last 4 or 5 games with 4 or 5 sacks. You know what I mean? Almost a sack a game average there the last 4 or 5 games last year. Wouldn't say he had the hottest start this year, but it wasn't bad. There was signs like the pressures he was getting and stuff.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Was still pretty good. Like he's been leading the team. Just like after a week after Trey was out, he was leading the team in pressures. And that was with Trey all season. Usually Trey just dominates those stats when it comes to Bengals.
He gets all the snaps, yeah.
Yeah, for Osai, it just didn't necessarily translate into sacks early in the season, but there was signs that he was still coming on. Same thing with Murphy the last few weeks. And these are good players. Like Osai, I had as like
They're
a talented
guy
coming out, and he fell to the third, and I'm like, that's a great pick. I remember taking Carmen in the second and Osai in the third, and said if you flip that, it made more sense.
Right.
To me, Carmen was a third-round guy. Osai was a second, talent-wise.
Right.
Hasn't always panned out, but Osai was a linebacker originally. It was last year at Texas, so he's completely learned that position, gotten better and better, and he's still like 25 years old. Miles Murphy, year 3. He's like 23 freaking years old.
Yeah, and that's the
when
thing.
we
They're
drafted
both
him,
still,
he was
young.
so young.
Yeah, they both are. They're both still young. That's the really even more exciting thing about this is how young they are. So, and I mean, hopefully this is the trajectory that Shamar Stewart will have, but who might be 2 years away from that to happen. That's where I still.
Yep. And that's what I said. It's not that I don't think he can be a good player in the NFL. He's got so much talent, so many traits, but I don't draft a guy that needs that project. I said it over and over again because we already have Miles Murphy, who year 3 we're hoping takes a leap because he was the same guy when we drafted him. Very good athlete, young, needs some time because he doesn't have a lot of pass rush moves. Like, I don't just say this shit.
That's the biggest thing for me. I will bang this drum no matter what happens on the season. They've got to change that philosophy in the first round. Second round at least. For sure the first round. You've got to draft guys who are productive in college. Just think if we had Malachi Starks. Just think if we could have drafted him. You know,
I mean, unless it works out and in a year or 2 you're winning the Super Bowl, then you're like, okay, they had a plan all along. But I agree because we would hope that Super Bowl could have came a year or 2 prior if you drafted guys that were more pro ready that didn't need as much development.
That's my whole point, especially when you and me have talked about this a million times. They put all their money on the offensive side of the ball, and they did it right. They put a lot of draft equity on the defensive side of the ball. It's just there's so many guys with potential that they haven't seen yet. It's like, and this is the year like we needed a guy with production now, like Walter Nolan, we both loved, would have been perfect because we still do. And that to me, that's the 2 number 1 things. If you want to talk a little draft here, and I'll get to you guys' question here in a second. I know you guys are blowing the chat up. The 2 things for me going into this draft this year, I still think we need to get an interior defensive lineman so that could get pressure up the middle because we haven't had that in God knows how long. And left tackle. I mean, I love Zeus. And I think the rest of the offensive line is okay. I do think if even if we let Reisner go, which I would like to sign him and let him and Rivers fight it out next year, I think Rivers it can be our potential future right guard. But Zeus, you got. I think next year is his last year of his contract.
Yeah,
you got, and there's nobody there. I am not putting Cody Ford out there as you're starting left tackle.
No guarantee Cody Ford's here.
Right. So they got to get somebody. If not this year, next year. And we've talked about this about switching Mims over potentially, but I'd rather just draft a left tackle. But we're going to win the Super Bowl this year, so getting a left tackle 32nd is going to be kind of hard.
I don't know because Dane Brugler, he does the beast, and in his mock draft, he had this guy go 32nd. I don't remember the team because it's one of those. Well, it'll be the Bengals eventually.
Yeah.
But it was Monroe Freeling from Georgia, and it's a guy I clipped up over the summer, even though he hadn't been a full-time starter, but he had to play some last year, 6'7", like 315, ideal build, basketball background, 6'7". Didn't do that on purpose. The son of a bitch.
That's stuck in everybody's freaking head, dude.
Kids, these damn kids and their damn things they make us old guys have to know about. But yeah, like no one was really on this guy. And he has another year. He could go back to Georgia, but like he's had a really, really good season, 80-plus grade as a pass protector at Georgia and just playing really good football. And when Day mocked him at 32, it was like just a grin on my face of like, damn it, I'm not an idiot. Damn it. Like, I know I'm not. But at the same point in time, it's like, it's like no one's been talking about this guy. And it's like, okay, yeah, because he could be a dude. I've talked about Trevor Gooseby from Texas a lot. And guess what? He shut out Cassius Howell last week, had his best game. Everybody's talking about him. Oh my God, almost like I've been talking about that guy all season. But no, if you pick 32nd and that guy does declare from Georgia, and he's a left tackle, and he's going to continue to be a left tackle. So there's him and Gooseby. Now, the best prospects are right tackles, like I mentioned before, Malinois and Fano. But, man, I love those two cats.
The thing is, how good would it be to learn a year under Zeus or behind Zeus? I mean, you can say what you – I still think Zeus is a good left tackle. I do think he's lost a step. He's not – he hasn't been the all-pro Pro Bowler that we thought he was going to be, but he's been fine. I mean, this is still the best offensive line.
But, dude, Monroe Freeling from Georgia left tackle, Georgia alone, Dylan Fairchild – beside him at left guard. At right tackle is this guy, Marius Mims. Like, just keep getting those Georgia offensive linemen because they're good. Yeah. They're really good.
Draft the whole Georgia offensive line. That works for me. All right, let's get some questions here. Brad wants to know, we're talking about Trey Henderson. Do you think Trey is really injured? I'm starting to think he's not. All right, this is my thoughts. I think Trey obviously was hurt. I do think that. There's part of me that it seems like he's milking this a little bit, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I mean, because Trey has played through a lot of stuff, and I'll put it this way: when the Bengals win Sunday, I'll be shocked if he doesn't play in Baltimore. Then he's really just if he doesn't play in Baltimore, they might as well just put him on the IR and forget it because the season's over for him. Which, if he's doing that, it's not helping him out at all to get any of the money, unless he is just dying to get the hell out of here. And he's like, screw it. I'm hurt. Just let me go.
There's no part of me that wants to believe, based on how much he's played through injury and his payday coming up. And he just turned 31 today. Happy birthday. But they're just, I don't know, because I've gone back and forth on the thought. I think it's a fair question to ask.
Yeah, you have to ask it. You have to.
Because it was like, hey, if the Bengals are in contention, he's going to play. That was a statement that in Rappaport or one of those guys said.
Right.
He needs surgery, though. So it's like, okay, well, go get the surgery if you need the surgery.
Right.
Period. But it's like, and here's the thing that we don't know. We just don't know. Maybe he's trying to come back so hard and he's rehabbing it.
Maybe.
And it made it worse and set it back. That happens all the time in football.
Well, that's where it'd be nice to have some transparency.
You're
right. What's going on? And that's the thing. The reason I think there's something shady there. Zach doesn't have a good poker face, and Zach seemed very frustrated. I think it was Monday's press conference when he just said he's doubtful. It's just, and it was short, quick. He's doubtful, and just the look on his face, he seemed very frustrated with that situation. That's where I'm like, that threw a red flag up for me. Like, oh, all right, well, maybe Zach thinks he can play. I don't know. I'm not speaking for Zach. I'm just trying to read the tea leaves. That's
right. And maybe it's one of those things like Trey could play, but his doctors or whoever is telling him his risk of re-injuring it and making it worse is higher. And knowing he don't have long-term security, he's not wanting to risk it. And then Zach's frustrated because he's like, yeah, but you could get the fuck in there. I need to win games as the head coach of the Bengals, or I might not have a job. But
exactly.
When it comes to Trey, if your doctors are saying high risk of re-injury, you might not want to play. Like, I can see it from all sides, to be fair.
Yeah.
But
that's kind of where
as fans, we want his ass in there because we know he's a good player.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like I said, that's just the fishy thing is because Trey doesn't miss stuff. That's the thing. He doesn't miss plays. He doesn't miss practice. He doesn't miss stuff. He's throughout his career. And to me, like you said, if it's this bad, because I mean, honestly, I think it's his 5th week out. Okay, he ain't playing Sunday. They should have put him on IR. Is what they should have done.
Right.
And now one thing about the IR, and I've heard this isn't just my idea. I've heard other people say this on podcasts and stuff. They should do like MLB does, and they should have a retroactive IR. Where they can put them on there, but they it's retroactive to 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, or whatever it is. I wish they would do that so it's gives you more flexibility. And that would help the Bengals because I think the Bengals are always so worried about putting guys on IR because they're out for 4 weeks no matter what. I was like, I don't know if that's in the
like if he re-injured it, trying to rehab to get back,
right?
And 2 weeks in he re-injured it, and you're like, well, shit, he still might be able to play in 2 weeks, so we don't want to have him miss 4.
Yeah,
no, I can see that.
All right, Crip's got a kind of draft question. It's kind of a Crip keeper question here. Said that the Bengals.
I've seen it. I already answered it. Go ahead, read it though. Read it.
If you had the Bengals defense in fantasy and the Bills defense as well, which one would you start on Sunday?
Well, I answered it on Bengals and Brews, and that's not a draft question at all. It's a fantasy football question.
Yeah, he said a draft question. Yeah, exactly. Crip Kiesel.
But neither. I would start neither. I said this on my show. I would cut one of them and go get the other. Like, go get whoever's projected to get the highest points. I would not start either of them. Why would I start either of those defenses on Sunday? Okay, gun to head, Crip. Here's my answer. The Bengals defense.
Yeah, because we're going to kick their ass. That's why. See, the funny thing is, Crip asks questions or stuff from your show, and then they'll ask it on my show. And I try to watch your guys' show. This is my vampire hour. So I literally went to bed at 10 a.m. and didn't wake up till 4. And I hurried up and made the show. That's why you got the link so daggone late. And then Crip will sit there and ask me, he'll make statements that happened on your show. And I'm going, the hell are you talking about? No idea what he's talking about.
Misha asked, how would you retroactive IR help? Trying to understand is the money. It wouldn't be about money or anything like that. It would be about what I said. I don't know if it made any sense, but I was trying to think of it myself as we were just talking, as Jeff mentioned.
Well,
if he was 2 weeks into his recovery and it flared up again, he was trying to come back that week. You could retroactive to he's been out 2 weeks, put him on IR, and he's only out 2 more as he works back after re-injuring it. So you get an extra roster spot for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So another way to do it too is the way they do it in MLB is say you hurt your ankle or something, and they think it's going to get better in a couple of days, and they don't want to waste, or they want to be able to use you or whatever. And it's gotten worse, and you're a week into it. You're like, all right, well, we're going to put him in IR, but it's going to go back to that week, to games he already
because you can do like a 15-day IR in Major League
the
Baseball. It's different in NFL, but you can still use the 4-week premise to like 2 weeks.
Yeah. So the games you already missed would count toward your IR. You wouldn't have to go and miss additional ones because you already missed the ones you're at. That's where it helps.
Right. If the Bengals put Trey on IR tomorrow, he would have to miss 4 additional games.
Yes.
Based on when he's put on IR. Whereas if it was retroactive, I mean, shit, I don't even know how it would work because he missed 5 games already. But you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it would be at least like an additional week, and you could add a roster player or something. Like there's maybe something they could do. I get the thought. Yeah,
it would have worked if the Bengals could have retroacted him 2 weeks ago when he was hurt. We'll see. Crip's here because Dale says he's winning. Or what is Crip talking about?
I don't know. He's trying to be a hater. Like, one thing I know, he keeps talking about Indiana and Larry Bird and Steve McQueen, Lightning McQueen, whoever he's talking about.
Oh, so he's talking about. See, again.
No.
I need Crip. No. It's the Ohio State Indiana game. Yeah.
Well, he accused me of being a Bills fan. I'm just adding to it that the other things he's talking about. Yeah, he accused me of being a Bills fan all the time.
Why is he accusing you of being a Bills fan? How did this come about?
Just all the time, all season long. Even though I picked against the Bills so many times, like whatever. Honestly, I don't even fuck with the Bills no more that hard because they've gotten really like jealous and hateful toward the Bengals because we beat them so much.
We like Glenn Goodberry, except for
even he's been a little hateful. I love Glenn. This isn't a shot at Glenn. I love him, but he's been a little spicy on there. Like,
really,
he wants that win so bad.
He ain't getting it. Like, dude, I just don't see, because one thing, it's going to snow, but it ain't going to snow like it did last time, which is not supposed to. They don't have anybody that can cover Jamar.
We're wearing white uniforms. They better hope it doesn't snow.
And they ain't going to be able to see us anyway. The only thing that concerns me, though, the biggest thing that does concern me is Josh Allen thrown to the tight ends, because our defense has gotten better. We still can't cover tight ends. And I don't know how to fix that. We need somebody who can cover them. One of the linebackers needs to be able to figure out how to cover tight ends, because they got a Kincaid. Isn't Kincaid on their team?
Yeah, but he might not play.
I thought he was. I thought he was back.
I don't know. Like, somebody said on our show, it was just a comment, so maybe somebody can look it up for us. But they said that Locked On Bills saying they think that it's trending toward him not playing again this week. They still do have Dawson Knox, so either way. But Kincaid is definitely the more explosive of the two. If he does play, we're just going to assume everybody is playing that it's questionable or whatever until they're not.
Hey, Ronnie's got your back. He said Ohio State will curb stomp Indiana.
No, dude, that matchup is so exciting. I know we're talking Bengals, but
again, we talk.
It's 1 versus 2, and like the draft prospects wise and the matchups in that are great for a draft evaluation, because like Fernando Mendoza, are you a top 5 player in this draft?
Mm-hmm.
Depending on
this is the game to prove that. This is the game to prove that.
Ohio State defense, it's a great matchup. And then you got like Carter Smith, their left tackle for Indiana. He's going to have to face Kenyatta Jackson. He's going to have to face, potentially Arvell Reese when he kicks down to the edge spot. Just so many good matchups. They have good receivers. Omar Cooper, Elijah Surratt versus Davis and Igbenos and Jermaine Matthews. Like, it's just loaded with draft matchups on both sides of the ball. D'Angelo Pons, Amari Farrell, Mikael Kamara, all those guys on the Indiana defense versus the Buckeyes weapons. A lot of them are not draft eligible, but Carnell Tate is, and that's a damn good wide receiver 1 this year. So just exciting from a draft prospect. And it's 1 versus 2.
Right. Which okay, honestly, I want to ask your question on this. It's starting to get more and more noise about getting rid of the conference championship game because of this matchup right here. You're seeing 1 versus 2, and you're not even in the playoffs yet. That's where, like, and the thing is, whoever loses, which I think is going to be Indiana, might lose their first round bye. They could.
They could. I think if they get beat by a lot, but that's the thing. Like, whoever loses could still get a first round bye, which is that's kind of crazy. But it's like 2 undefeated teams, so it's fair. And like they set the precedent last year. They set the precedent last year. They did not hurt teams that played in conference championships for getting in the playoffs. You know what I mean? There were teams that lost that they were like, hey, you lost, but it's not. That's why Penn State was ranked ahead of Ohio State after they lost to Oregon in the Big Ten championship. They were like, well, even though you lost to Oregon, we're still ranking you above because you played in the conference championship and Ohio State didn't. Didn't obviously matter in the long run, but they set that precedent in the first 12-team playoff last year. So
are you excited too, as an Ohio State fan, that Chris Henry Jr. has officially signed with Ohio State?
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, dude's like 6'6" already. Like, I wonder if he's going to be too tall to stay at wide receiver. But I mean, he's quick.
Might move to tight end.
I haven't. I'd be lying if I said like, oh, I've watched all this tape and that. I don't. Not when they're in high school. Like, it's just, I just know he's a highly regarded recruit.
How much weight does he have on him? Is he?
I don't even know that. You know what I mean?
I was say if the only place that they can move him will be tight end.
Yeah.
If he's like
he would definitely need.
You got to put some weight on.
I don't think he's as thin as Slim. His nickname is literally Slim. You know, I don't think he's that thin, but yeah, he'd have to put on a ton of weight to be a tight end. But it's a different NFL too. Like you can move to tight end or not even tight end, be a flex tight end,
Right.
Where you're basically just a big receiver, a slot receiver,
Mike
a Mike Gesicki.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Because Mike Gesicki, he's a tight end in name
Yeah.
only. Because the funny thing is, he was at Bengals now earlier this year, and it was him and I think it was him and Tanner Hudson, and they're saying something about blocking it, and they kind of set it off Mike, but Tanner and Mike G looked at each other, and Mike G goes, "I don't block."
Yeah.
He's like, I don't really block. He will, but he's not blocking tight end.
Right. I mean, and you don't want to use him that way. It's not his strength. His strength is going out there and being a matchup nightmare with good size that can catch passes and make plays over the middle.
Exactly. Yes, Transformer Freak guy. I agree with you. Lamar is the worst pocket passer. He is not very accurate whatsoever. I agree with you. Yeah, I gotta keep it close. Let's see here. Ronnie says Ohio State by 20 is close.
I could see that. Like
Indiana came back. I know Penn State's Penn State, but they come back and win that Penn State game showed me a lot of character in that team. I think Ohio State's going to win, but I think it's going to be closer than people think.
So my thought is it'll either be really close and come down to that, like last possession of the game,
right?
Or the Buckeyes will win by like 20, but that's still fairly close for the way the Buckeyes like
they're playing. Yeah,
death machine is right now.
But Indiana is good. I mean, I want to give Indiana,
and that's not enough. And Kirk Cignetti is a fantastic coach and has turned that program into a big time program. And he's good with quarterbacks. And I liked Mendoza's tape at Cal, and I was like, he's going to be perfect for Indiana. And well, that's what's happened.
And Indiana's got the receivers too. I mean, there's some talented.
Surratt and Omar Cooper Jr. they're day 2 wide receivers, and it's a really good class, and that's nothing to sniff your nose at. Day 2 is second and third round. That's good money, and they're both.
I'll take it.
They're both day 2 receivers, like very talented. I mentioned Carter Smith, the left tackle. Good matchups there, but that's another player. It's probably a day 2 player if he declares this year.
But
great defense, great defensive line.
It's gonna be a fun weekend for me because I got the crosstown shootout tonight. Bearcat. I say Bearcats by 100, but I mean, we have not. I don't think we've ever beat Xavier in Cintas. That's their home arena. We should. The Bearcats should beat them talent-wise. They are more talented, way more talented than Xavier. Plus, crosstown shootout. It's a rivalry game, and you never know what's going to happen. We don't typically play very good there. Now, this is Richard Pitino's, that's Xavier's head coach, his first crosstown shootout game. I'm curious, and I'm not really asking your opinion. I'm just making statements here.
No, it was asking Bengals and Brews in the chat. So I said UC, but then like Greg come on and just went ballistic and was like, "You act like that's a question. It's UC all the way." And you know how Greg gets. I mean, he cut his ear before the show, was bleeding out. Like it was.
Hey, the Godfather is here in spirit. He's in spirit. Yeah. We feel.
We should hop on because I got to go check on my dog.
Well, go check your dog. I'll
talk. You talk more about the crosstown shootout because I don't really have a dog in the fight. Yeah, but I did say I'm going with UC in this one.
I got you. All right, so my thoughts on the crosstown shootout is I do think the Bearcats are more talented. They've only got one guy on their roster that's played it, and the Xavier I don't think has anybody. So there's not very many guys that have actually played in this rivalry. And until you are in it, I don't think the players could. Now, Wes has been in it. He'll can tell them all till he's blue in the face how intense this game is. I mean, right before the show, I saw a Twitter hit from Gabby Sortino, Fox 19. Joe and Jeremy were over there, and the Xavier fans, student section's already there going nuts. UC is more talented. This should not be close. UC should whoop their ass, talent-wise. But if they come out and play like they did in the Eastern Michigan game, they're going to lose because they lost to Eastern Michigan, and they looked awful. They play like they did in the last game, and I guess I can't remember the college that they played. They're going to lose. UC is not playing good right now. Wes Miller is still making it very easy for teams to defend them. If I am playing the Bearcats, I am playing zone almost the whole game. I'm dropping back because all you see will do is pass the ball around, go one-on-one, and try to make a shot. Nobody sets picks. Nobody goes inside, post up. Nobody dribble drives to pass the ball out. I won't say ever, but very, very rarely. It's a lot of one-on-one, and it's a lot of three-point shots. That has got to change. That is not going to work in Big 12 basketball. And the thing that kills me is every time West has a new team, oh, we got shooters. We got great shooters. And they can't shoot. We haven't had a consistent shooter in God knows how long. Now, hopefully I am completely wrong. I would love to be completely wrong. I'm just going by what I've seen the last couple games. And I don't like it. And this is a huge season for Wes Miller in general. Like, I'll go to Coach Satterfield. I was in. I'm like, all right, Sats finally got it figured out. We're going to a bowl game. We're set to have a chance at the we had a shot at the getting the playoffs for a little while there, and had a shot at the Big 12 championship. And then all crumbled. He lost the last 4 games, or his last 5 games, 4 games. Lost all of them. Weren't even close. I'm out of Sat again. I think Sat should be fired. I think we need to get a new coach. I love Wes Miller. I think he's a hell of a recruiter.
Should have got Brian Hartline before South Florida.
Yeah, I agree with you. We should have done that. Wes Miller is a great recruiter. I'm not sure about how good of an in-game coach he is because he doesn't make adjustments. He keeps trying to do the same crap. It's like, if you're going to play big boy basketball, you got to put the ball on the inside. You got to have some kind of inside presence. We have a 7-footer, bigger than 7'2" or 3, however tall he is. He needs to be posting up. At least throw the ball in. If they collapse on defense, then kick it out to him. But we don't do that stuff. It's simple stuff they don't do that they should. That drives me nuts. And these are the things that if they do this, Xavier's going to beat them. So I still think UC's going to win. They should win. They're more talented. But we'll see. Let's see here. So did the game sell out? Oh, the game's sold out. I don't even know. But yeah, the game always sells out.
My question is, what's the odds of a fight, on court or off?
They haven't had one, and that's been at least 10 or more years ago. They are so leery against that, and I guarantee you, both teams have seen that video. So, and that's the thing, dude. It's like, I'm telling you, this intensity of this team, of this game, it's as big as any rivalry game in the country. It's up there with Duke, North Carolina, as far as the intensity goes and the proximity of the schools. So because they're closer than anybody else. These guys, this is bragging rights for the city when you go to the bar or they're playing pickup games or whatever for the rest of the year. So, I mean, it's a big game. And yeah, Brad's with you. The word Heartline is he was not interested in UC, which I mean, he
brother won that South Florida life. I mean, he was drafted to the Dolphins. Like, I don't know. I do think it's a good first job, but UC, no offense, I don't want this to sound offensive. It's just kind of been true. It was a good landing spot for a lot of coaches to progress their career. Like
that's what I'm saying.
It is. Luke Fickell, and I mean Fickell hasn't done anything at Wisconsin.
No.
But
I mean that's the thing. Is like for me, UC, which they're not going to fire Sat. I think they owe him too much money. I think next year might be the year we could actually get out of this.
Well, I don't know who they'd get at this point either. Like they're clearly not.
Go get whoever the high max school coach is, or some young. You need to go get a young, up and coming, hungry coach for that coaching job. It is work time and time and time and time again. He won't stay here, but that's what you have to do. That's and every time that they haven't done that, it had when Tommy Tuberville, and I was excited as hell when we got him. Shucked. Satterfield, we got him. I'm like, I'm like, okay. He kind of got ran out of Louisville,
and he's done nothing but prove everybody right. That was like type hire because he's not. I mean, I thought this season, because Greg said that on Brews after that, lost when they were kind of coming on. He was like, I want him fired. And I was like, oh, come on, they can still turn things around. And Greg was 100% right. Like, when you're a UC fan, you know that this guy sucks. Like,
because you could tell they were falling back into stuff they did at the end of last year.
yeah.
Our quarterback turned into a pumpkin. He was not turning the ball over. He was being very smart with it, and all of a sudden he started doing the same dumb crap he did last year. Well, there was a game, I think, in the BYU game, or playing the BYU game, where he rolled out to his right, and he had room. He could have ran for the first down, probably at least got close, and instead he decided to chuck it in the triple coverage, and it got intercepted. I'm like, that's the crap you gotta coach out of him.
Now, Sorsby struggled down the stretch. Yeah, Brian.
I'm with Chop. Look, Bearcat fans hate Brian Kelly. I will take him back in a heartbeat. He won't come here. He might go to Penn State. I could see that happen.
No, they hired Matt Campbell from Iowa State, which that was a low key. Like, that was the best move they could make. It should have been on their radar much sooner. So they kind of saved it at the end. I feel like with that hire a little bit because he's a good coach.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. Like I said, this is my vampire hours, so I missed stuff. But yeah, I mean, either way,
well, I'm just looking. Like, I just got on Twitter and it says Kansas State will not be accepting a bowl invite. Like, what are you doing as a program to not go play a bowl game? I know you didn't have a good season.
Yeah, that's money for your school too. Why would you turn down an opportunity for your kids?
I mean, maybe that's wrong. Like, it's from College Football Alerts. Like, if somebody says that didn't end up being true, maybe it's not. Because to me, that's crazy. But that's just wild. Like,
see, I love the comment. Brad here says, "Chop Kelly can go play with himself." like Brian Kelly. Like, everybody got mad at Kelly, and I was not happy. But dude, he got us there, and I'd take you back. But I mean, the thing is, really. They're not firing Sat. I wish they would. But when they do fire him, because he's going to get fired. He's going to.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, we're 4 years into this. So he's going to get fired.
You could say, well, next year he could turn, but that was this year. This year was the chance. And
he had 6
That's why I'm shocked that they kept him after how bad the season ended, because he should have been on the hot seat last year.
Yeah, he should have been last year. And then Dale, all right. 5 years ago, we were in the college football playoffs. There's only 4 teams, and we were one of them.
Yeah.
We have this year, we worked our ass off to get the Big 12. This year, we're in the mix. We're ranked in the top 25. We were being considered. If we would have beat BYU or beat Utah, we would be talking about going to the Big 12 championship and possibly going to the college football playoffs. He blew it all. It all just went poof. It just screwed it all up.
Arizona, which became a very good team down the stretch, just beat the shit out of them.
Like, that was like Utah. The Utah game, I wasn't so confident we were going to win that one. You don't come back at home and lose to Arizona. I don't care how good Arizona's done after that. They got destroyed by Arizona.
Well, your sports was Strawberry Ice. Your Cincinnati sports. We're talking Bearcats. Brendan Sorsby, I still think, has the talent to be maybe a high-level NFL backup. I don't think you build a franchise around Brendan Sorsby, and Bearcats fans may disagree with me. I think there's a lot of good talent, a lot of good traits there. Where is he going? Because I don't see a world where he stays at UC for another year, because he's got another year of eligibility. I think he's going in the portal, and man, if he ended up at Miami, Florida, or one of the I don't know if he'd end up there, but shit.
Who is Sack going to get here? That's the thing. Is he's had back-to-back years where he's done pretty good in the portal. I think he did really good in the portal.
Offensive line, he did really good.
Oh, our offensive line is freaking awesome. We have talent. That's the same thing with Wes. We have talent on the basketball team, and there's talent on this football team. They should have played better. That's the thing. It's like, if you're a college football player and you see he's got NIL money, but not a ton, what players are you going to get to come here? Because Satterfield has proven that he can't get you to the NFL. He can't get you to that next level. He gets you a certain level, and then you drop back off. Oh, you drop off a cliff. That's been consistent. So who's he going to get here? That's where I'm like, how can you keep him here? What's next year's team going to look like?
Yeah, man, if I was a Bearcat fan, I'm a Buckeye fan, I know, but I'm a college football guy.
Yeah.
I love it. And I just don't. If I was a Bearcat fan, I would be furious that this guy is still my coach. The way the last couple of years have ended, and really the whole time he's been here, when you guys didn't believe in him in the first place, and it's like, well, prove me wrong.
Right.
You've proven all of the Bearcat fans right that said you weren't the guy over and over again. And this year was a shining example because there is talent. Joe Royer at tight end. Jeff Caldwell in the transfer portal, the 6'5" receiver. Evan Pryor, Tywee Walker at running back. Like Sorsby at quarterback. Corleone came back for another season at D tackle. Jeff Golday at linebacker. Like there was talent. You can't tell me there's not talent because I have these guys in the draft guide, a bunch of them.
Royer, how is he not your featured guy? They barely threw the ball to him. He's a potential first-round NFL tight end. How do you not use him? I'm like, they barely threw him the ball. So I'm like, I don't understand you. And he had the matchups over almost every team. I'm like, that he played, especially down the stretch here. Didn't throw him the ball. I'm like, how do you not use Joe Royer? Like I said, it could be the what do you got him at? Is he second, third?
Yeah, he's a day 2 tight end. It's very clustered. Like I think everybody 2 through 5, after Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon is my tight end 1, been my tight end 1. Like I had him before Dane Brugler or anybody had him at tight end 1. Back in the spring I had him as tight end 1 coming into this season, and he proved me right. But it's very clustered. Max Clare from Ohio State, him, Eli Stowers from Vanderbilt, Michael Trigg from Baylor. But Royer's right in that mix. Jack Injuries, there's a bunch of them, but they're all in that 2 through 5 mix that any of them could elevate themselves to tight end 2. And Royer certainly could have elevated himself to tight end 2 with this play on the field after last season. And it's not his fault. It's game planning. It's usage. It's not getting him the ball as you're talking about.
Right. Yeah.
That's just frustrating. I still think he's going to be a pretty good
if he got
NFL
the ball more,
tight end.
If he got the ball more and he's more productive, he might move up to a late first rounder. That's where Sat just not only hurt the Bearcats but hurt him as well. Now,
somebody asked if Sorsby's gone. No, he's not gone.
He said he's not going to play in the bowl game now.
I think he's going to transfer. My guess.
Brad said once Sat lost the conference game, he would never. Okay, and it said Sorsby said he would not.
Once Sat loses the conference game, like he never wins another game.
Well, I know, but I'm more interested. He said Sorsby said he would not play in the bowl game. I haven't heard that, so
I hadn't seen that either.
Brad follows him, so I definitely
he would be stupid to try to go to the NFL the way his season ended, because I was like, and I blame myself for a while because I was like, he was trending toward.
He was. I mean,
top 50 pick status when
he
they were
was
7-1
for the Heisman. I mean, he wasn't going to get it. That's where he was at. They were actually mentioning his name. And I'm like, you go from that to this. I'm like, that's coaching. That's all coaching. You can't. That's what I don't get is they fall flat on their face over it. Like last year, he lost the last 6 games. This year, he lost the last 4 games. You can't end seasons like that and keep your job.
7-1 to 7-5 is just brutal.
It's awful. I just it's frustrating. Anyway, I think we're gonna get the hell out of here on this. Dale
got Jeff good and pissed off about the Bearcats.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch them. They better beat Xavier, dude. I'm nervous.
The football Bearcats. Now the basketball Bearcats.
I don't know
how they done, because my cats, Kentucky Wildcats basketball.
Well, you got Gonzaga
not
tonight.
Doing good.
Yeah, you got Gonzaga tonight.
Yeah, no one's like they could have beat North Carolina and they didn't. And you know how Kentucky basketball, like lunatic fringe, they say about Ohio State football.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so much worse with Kentucky basketball. But my dad loved Kentucky basketball, and God rest his soul, I will always love Kentucky basketball. But hell, they tested me during Calipari era with all the one and done. It's like I don't even know who's playing each year.
He just beat Louisville. He just beat Louisville. Kyle Perry did. Arkansas beat Louisville the other night.
Mm-hmm.
So you asked me about the Bearcats. I'm scared. They are more talented than Xavier. They have a lot of they got pro players on their team. Guys are potentially pro. I'm not saying all NBA, but pro players. If somebody's got to pay them after this play. I was on vacation last week. I went to the Eastern Michigan game, and they got their asses handed to them by Eastern Michigan. They won this week, Monday, against, like I said, I can't remember the name of the college. They won. It didn't look great. Wes makes it too easy to defend them. Way too easy, because all they want to do is stand there and shoot 3-pointers or go one-on-one. That's not the way you play winning college basketball, especially in the Big 12. So there's
no ball movement, like, because
it's around the outside
game of basketball.
It's around the outside, and it's past around 3-point. I'm like
around the outside,
exactly. So I'm like, 2 weeks ago, I was like, we're gonna kick their asses. Now Xavier's been playing better. We're not playing so good. Well, hopefully I'm wrong. I want to win. I still think they're going to win. They should win.
Hey, I'm rooting for you guys, man.
I appreciate that.
What's the chant? Like,
you see.
I'm trying to learn here. I'm learning on the fly. I'll do better. But I'm rooting for you guys. I do always root in football unless you're playing my Buckeyes. Like, I want to see them do good, man. And there's a lot of talent. And at the end of the day, I just, like, I love the draft. You know that. So, like, when it comes to NFL. But basketball, man, it's hard to watch college basketball. I did watch some of that Kentucky, North Carolina game. First game I tuned into, and I was like, I fell asleep because I'm not that into it, man. Wake me up when March Madness starts, you know, like when it comes to basketball.
Before you go. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I love March Madness. That is, but I would like to be in it. We haven't been in it since 2018, 19, something like that. It's been a long time since the Bearcats have been in it.
Brother.
We need to win. We need to win tonight. All right, Dale. On that note, you got any words of wisdom you want to leave Who Day Nation on this fun Who Day Friday football show?
Nah, man. Keep the faith. I've never doubted this team. I've never doubted Zach Taylor. I've never doubted this defense. So you guys need to also be as positive as I've been this whole time. No one has ever heard me say anything bad about this defense, about Zach Taylor, about Al Golden, about Duke Tobin, about the Browns. It's never happened. Like, good luck finding that in an article on Cincy Jungle or on the Bengals and Brews podcast or on the Bengals and Brews Twitter account. I've never once done or said anything negative about this season, this team, the people in charge. Not me. They call me Mr. I'm Mr. Brightside. That's what they call me.
You almost said that with a straight face. Well, like, Brad, what the F are you talking about, Dale? Yeah, how about Paul Brown Jr.? What were you saying about him? Huh?
Oh, don't get me started. You almost did it. You almost. That motherfucker. I'm going to say it. You know that motherfucker ain't doing a goddamn thing, and he's like vice president of personnel. His job title is actually above Duke Tobin's. And you know all he does is sit in his little cubicle at work and jerks off. I don't know this for a fact, but it's probably kitty porn. He seemed like a kitty porn guy. Like, fucking weirdo. Fucking piece of shit, that Paul Brown Jr. I couldn't resist at the end. But we're going to be Buffalo, guys.
Yes. We're going to be Buffalo. All right, Dale. I appreciate you. I'll see you next Friday, baby. Who day?
Who day, baby? Who day?
Who day? Oh, God. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. He said that with a straight face. I mean, I'm looking around like, who the hell is he talking about? Like I'm over here has to say, but like that's me. I'm the one. I'm the positive one, right? Sabo was agreeing with me. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'm a live show on YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch, along with Instagram. Hello, Instagram. You can follow me on all those, along with Threads and TikTok. And check out my Substack. I try to write an article on there at least once a week. I didn't get one done this week because been crazy, but do me a favor, please subscribe to that, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm getting so close to 3,000 subscribers, so please tell your friends, tell your neighbors to subscribe to Sports with Strawberry Ice. I will be pulling the sound off later on tonight, putting on the podcast. Check it out. It's on BeanPod, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Do me a favor. Listen to it, rate it, like it, review it, leave a comment, a 5-star review so more Cincinnati fans can find my podcast.
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Priority Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paper patio, you need anything. I mean anything. Landscaping required. Think Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window, Door, and more. I got them in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window, Door, and more. The website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also, shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. And tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House.
Again, we will be back down there this Sunday for the Bengals-Bills watch party. Like I said, I'm not sure if we're going to be in the beer garden where we normally are, or we're going to be in the tent because the game getting flexed back to 1 o'clock kind of screwed some stuff up there. So either way, come on down. I'll be down there playing some tunes between commercials, giving away some prizes, having some fun. We've got $5 drafts, $5 well drinks, $5 house wines, $5 shots of the day. It's an awesome, awesome time. Come on down. Let's fill the place up. Root the Bengals on to beat the Buffalo Bills and keep this thing rolling, because I think this next month is going to be an absolute blast for Bengals fans. So, as always, remember one thing and one thing only. That's Who Dey for life. I'll see you guys Monday. That's just sports, baby. See ya!
Another great show. You guys still here? The show's over. You can come back tomorrow. I'm out of here. See ya.